Just wear a green man suit. You can't see my lower half. What's up everyone? Drew and Caroline from Misfit Athletics, and today we are talking about 4 steps to conquer the handstand ramp. Very first step, it's gonna seem kind of silly, but you need to handstand walk. So many people do not warm up. They don't think about certain cues with their handstand walking. They also kick up way too close to the mat. They're trying to find that balance point before they're even handstand walking. So Caroline's just gonna go over here, and she is going to warm up her handstand walk and think about the fact that she is going to need a more aggressive counterbalance as she's on an incline. So she's going to kick up right now, start the handstand walk, and she's just going to think about her lower half leading her forward. If she gets stuck at any point here, you can go ahead and kick down. If she was to get stuck at any point during that, she'd know that she's really not leading with her legs all that well. And then again, that second part of getting your handstand walk right before is important, because you need to be able to handstand walk into the ramp as opposed to kicking up like right here and saying, oh, I can't find my balance. That's not super surprising. So no matter what you think is going to happen in a competition, give yourself a little bit more of a runway leading into it. Step 2 is breaking this up into pieces. So really easy to think about how to create steps on a set of steps. Caroline is going to kick up and just make it up one step here. That is her first goal, to try to have control on that first step. Good, go ahead and kick down. So now she knows what that feels like and has to sort of get over the next hump and see what it feels like to make it up that second step. Good. Go ahead and kick down. All right, so now we're gonna come over to this side. You never know with an athlete whether the steps themselves, which are typically the more challenging portion, but for some other athletes, the ramp is more challenging. So the way that we break this up, you see that we've got some chalk lines on here. You can make your own chalk lines at any interval. We've got them at 1 foot right now, but if you're walking up and you have that same sticking point, create some sections with some chalk or tape or whatever it is to prove to yourself that you're making progress. So Caroline's gonna kick up and she's just gonna walk until she starts to feel a little uncomfortable. So she made it 2 lines there. So she knows her goal on that next one. She's made it through here. You have the confidence to know that you can make it at least to that second line. She's gonna go one more time and see if she can make it to the 3rd or 4th line. Look at that, great. So again, you keep working on this, and each time you're doing it, even though the previous session, maybe you started to make it all the way across, start with small chunks like this so you can prove to yourself that you're really kind of gaining some momentum with the skill. Number 3 is to have a plan on both sides. You'll notice that as she's walking up here, she's got her hands turned out, and then as she gets to the ramp, she knows that her steps are a little bit shorter with her hands. You want to know what it's like as you're coming up across here. You're not going to have the lines in competition. You're not going to know. You want to know how many steps roughly it's going to take you to get there. You want to know what it feels like when it's time to fight or when it's time to kick back down. On this side, it's going to be even more important. I'm going to have Caroline take one run at getting up over, and you're going to notice that she's going to put both of her hands on every step. That is not the same for every athlete. Want you to practice both hands on each step, and then maybe practice a few rounds with skipping a step as you go through. So basically you'd put your right hand here and then your left hand here. But it's important that you know, especially going into a competition, what your strategy is for going up both sides. Good, so you notice there as she went up, she was really fighting to get through that. And if you do take them one step at a time when you're practicing, you'll start to get more of a hang of those balance points, so that if you do hit one and you're not 100% sure, you might be able to sort of regain and go through that. And you'll notice, obviously, that she went both hands on each step. Try to figure out what your plan is there. Last but not least, step number 4 is practice. We could have made a video that said, get yourself a handstand walk ramp and practice as much as possible, and that would have been a pretty good tip video. Obviously not going to blow anyone's mind with that, but this is the type of thing where it's low CNS demand. You can get a ramp. It's probably, harder on your bank account than it is on your actual body,